I'm about to show you some of the most beautiful and unique dials that I've ever seen. Well, personally. And of course, I don't go out much. I know there's a lot of good dials out there. That's a pretty bold statement. Anyway, we'll be reviewing two of these guys. Stay tuned. Signum Watch Co. was created by owner and designer Kyle of Stratton Watch Co., a successful microbrand watch company that's been operating since 2015. Now, Stratton, of course, is known for making quality watches and has some of the most top-notch personalized customer service out there. Or so I've heard. Never done business with them, but I've heard a lot of good things. As Stratton's sister brand, the aim of Signum watches is bang-for-buck watches using unique dials made from natural and man-made materials. Today we will be taking a look at the Signum Watch Cuda Abalone and the Signum Cuda Meteorite watches. These watches, including the bracelet, are fully constructed of 316L stainless steel. Now, something that I found interesting is the fact that all watches in the collection are offered in two sizes. I think this is really brilliant, and one of the main complaints from watch enthusiasts across the board with most watch companies and with most watches is they complain about, the watch being too big or too small. With this format, it's pretty easy for you to figure out what you want to buy, and at the same time you could buy a similar watch for your significant other and share your passion. So I think that's a win-win in my book, and I think more companies should definitely take this approach. Another added bonus for me, and I think a lot of people complain about, are date complications. So Signum watches actually solve that problem for you. They do offer these watches in two versions, one with a date, one without a date. So let me talk about the pricing. The Signum Cuda Abalone is $349, for whatever size you choose, and the other one, the Meteorite one, is $399. Again, for whatever size you choose to go with. Not bad pricing. So what sizes do they offer? Now these watches are offered in a case size of 40 millimeters and 44 millimeters. Now that sizing does include the crown guards. Both have drill lug holes on the case. The bracelets are constructed of course, 316L stainless steel, as we mentioned previously. As for the dimensions of these models, so the Abalone measures in at 44 millimeters. It's 48 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. It's 13.6 millimeters thick, and it has a lug opening of 22 millimeters. Now, the Meteorite dial measures in at 40 millimeters. It's only 44 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. It's 13.2 millimeters thick, and it has a lug opening of 20 millimeters. Now, both of these watches are 200 meter water resistance, and that, of course, is achieved by a number of things, but the screw down crown that's located at the 4 o'clock that's actually been signed in Loom, it helps with that water resistance. Now they do both feature a unidirectional 120 click Loom ceramic bezel that's actually really easy to churn, easy to grip, super responsive, a little bit of back play, but overall these are some killer bezels. Now the entire case and bracelet have been brushed, and that make these watches look super tooly. Of course, there's no fancy polishing here. And of course the dial is protected by a clear, flat AR-coated sapphire crystal that, protects these beautiful dials. You see, no two dials are the same, and I love that concept. The Abalone dial is made from genuine abalone shell, and the Meteorite dial, well, of course, is made from actual meteorite. I've always been fascinated by dials that are made from unique materials, especially the Meteorite. I can genuinely tell you that these dials look so different in person, and I just can't stop staring at them. Now, on the dial we do find applied indices. Some are round and some have the semi-arrow style to them. And at the 12 o'clock we do find the applied logo, the company logo. At the 6 o'clock the word automatic and 200 meters. The sword style minute hand and hour hand have a break inside the loom just to separate it, and it actually looks pretty cool. And on the tip of the seconds hand we do find some orange paint that's overall pretty well executed. Now around the indices we have the minute markings, and on the date version is actually located at the 4 o'clock. Overall a very clean aesthetic that definitely doesn't overpower the look of the dial. We do find plenty of Super Luminova loom on these watches, and the loom has been applied everywhere, on the hour hand, minute hand, on the tip of the seconds hand, the indices, The bezel, the logo on the crown. I mean, this company went big. They put Loom everywhere. And I do think that bigger companies should be doing similar things when it comes to the dive watches. I know some do, but this is super cool to see in microbrand watches is the attention to detail. And the Loom is pretty powerful and it definitely lasts a good while. On the screw down case back of the watch, we do find some information about the watch and also find a really well designed and engraved barracuda fish. Now, as we all know, a barracuda, or Cuda for short, is a large predatory ray fin fish known for its fearsome appearance and ferocious behavior. I can tell you with certainty that these watches definitely have a presence and look super aggressive. Well, at least the dials do look that way. The rest of the watch actually reminds me a lot of a Seiko SKX, and that's one of my favorite all-time watches, very classic looking, so there you have it. Now powering these watches is a Seiko automatic NH movements. You can choose between the NH35, the date version, and the NH38, no date version. Now I know the NH movements are used by a lot of microbrand watches or watch companies, but it's understandable. You know, the Seiko NH movements offer a lot of bang for your buck. You get a reputable name behind it, and also the movement is hackable, windable. They beat at 21,600 vibrations. They feature 24 joules, have a power reserve of about 41 hours, and are accurate to -40 plus 40 seconds per day. Honestly, the NH movements are some of my favorite movements out there. As far as entry level movements, I've never personally had an issue with any of mine, and if things do happen to go south, you pick them up pretty inexpensive. Now the bracelet, as I previously mentioned, is fully brushed and it does feature solid end links, screws to size the bracelet, 5 micro adjust holes. It has a mill clasp that features a double deploying button to open, and also the top security buckle that's been signed with the company logo. Now operating the bracelet was pretty easy and the bracelet felt pretty solid. I do wish they would have made the end links a little shorter so they wouldn't stick out so much, but other than that I have no complaints about it. So what are my overall thoughts on these watches, and are they worth the $300 plus price tag? Well, my biggest problem with them, honestly, is I can't decide what size I should go for. On one hand, I do like the bigger watch as it feels like I'm wearing a traditional dive watch, but the weight of 180.6 grams makes me a little worried that it might be a little heavy for everyday use and create a lot of wrist fatigue. Now, I do like the smaller size version as it only weighs in at 150 grams, and of course the smaller size makes it a lot more wearable for everyday use. Nonetheless, both of these watches have a lot to offer for a reasonable price and overall have been built right in my opinion. You know, they do offer something very unique that make these watches worth every penny in my opinion, and I could tell obviously Kyle is a watch guy, and as a watch guy he designed something for watch people. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for helping us get to 2,000 subscribers. That truly does mean the world to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and stay humble, my friends.